Hello everyone and welcome back to the UConn Huskies Dynasty. UConn is 6-2 to this point with upsets against teams like Ohio State and Oregon State and are currently eligible for a bowl game. But now it's really a matter of seeing how far this team can go. Can we win out the rest of the season and finish 10-2? I think with the opponents we have on the schedule, that is unlikely. But in today's episode, we'll face off against South Alabama and against Duke. And then in the next episode, we'll finish out the regular season with UTSA and UCF, who is currently ranked 5th in the country. We had a lot of commitments to end the last episode. This is what our recruiting board looks like currently. We've got right end Moses Newcomb, 4-star center Wayne Rourke, 4-star tight end Marcus Engler, 4-star right tackle Manny Smith, 4-star athlete quarterback Dorian Tobin, 2-star left tackle but gem Dom Osgood, 4-star halfback Max Cadet, 3-star strong safety in Nate Putu, and 3-star left tackle in Ted Booth. A number of those guys committed just this week, so now we have a lot more points to work with, or at least we did until I spread them out. We're sending the house on Shaquille Cleland to attempt to get another 4-star safety. Safety is a position where we are losing a lot of seniors and we are otherwise weak. I'm also sending a full 65 points Terry Overhauser's way. I am not risking losing him to Syracuse or Boston College. He should commit after this week, I would imagine. There's also free safety Kevin Simonson, but App State made up a ton of ground, so I am at risk of losing him. We're sending a full 65 points his way and have scheduled a visit for our final home game of the year, which is against Duke. We're going a little harder after left guard David O'Brien. We have to catch up to the Ragin' Cajuns, but we are making up some ground. We have passed Tulsa. We should be getting a commitment from end Alani Sandridge pretty much any time soon. Nobody else is even pursuing him. And then I'm gonna see if I can steal elusive back Dan Boyd from Rutgers. We were sending 40 points last week and kept pace with Rutgers. We're sending 65 points this week. So there is a chance that I think we could steal Boyd depending on what Rutgers does. And then there's another 3-star safety in Joshua Dora, who we are sending the house to try to get on his board. And then a few new guys, including 2 middle linebackers in Alan Rudock and Jason Pears. And then a wide receiver in Dalton Skmizniak, please correct me if I'm saying that wrong, who doesn't actually currently have a scholarship from anyone other than us. I just like the fact that he's tall, 6'4" physical wide receiver. But anyway, it is time for some UConn Huskies football, this time on the road against South Alabama. 3 of our final 4 games are on the road, our last home game coming against Duke next week. We can get a victory here. We would secure a 7th win on the season because we've got 3 tough opponents coming up. UConn gonna start with the football today. And on 1st and 10, the first play is gonna go to Victor Rosa, who gets 4 yards. Victor missed a lot of the last game due to some injury concerns with wear and tear. On 2nd and 6, he's still in the backfield. This play will go to him. There's a flag down. It looks like it's probably going to be a holding penalty, and it's going to erase a big run from Victor Rosa. Looks like it was on the tight end, Lewis Hansen. So now instead of a huge pickup for Victor Rosa, it's 2nd and 16. Darrell Robinson is in the game along with Mel Brown. Robinson going to get the carry. Can he find the edge? There's another flag down. The Huskies getting ruined by penalties early on. This is another holding call. So now it's 2nd and 24 all the way back to our own 11. As Evers is going to look to pass this time, dumps it off to Josiah Gathings, makes a man miss, and gets near the 20 to set up a 3rd and 16. A long ways to go for UConn. Evers back to pass, no time to throw, down he goes. 4th and 21, we'll have to punt it away. The South Alabama offense is led by sophomore quarterback Gio Lopez. They have halfback Kentrell Bullock, and the wide receiver core is Keyshawn Woodyard, Anthony Eager, and Micah Woods. This honestly is not a bad offense. They've got a pretty talented quarterback, a pretty talented halfback. Receiver core not the strongest, but pretty good. So they've got a man in motion. It's going to be the jet touch pass for South Alabama, broken tackle, and a pickup of 6 to start the day for the Jags. 2nd and 4 from midfield as Lopez out of the shotgun fakes the handoff and he fumbles the football. It's recovered by Hoffman. There's nothing but green in front of him. Does he have the speed to outrun the receiver though? He does not. He goes down at the 1. but a scoop up from Hoffman, and it's going to be 1st and goal at the 1 for UConn. A blitz sent by UConn. Let's see who forced the fumble. It's the true freshman linebacker, Raheem Lovelace, punching it out, and then Hoffman with the scoop and nearly the score. So after a bad drive for the offense, the defense gives them an opportunity to take the lead anyway, and Victor Rosa gonna walk it in. Touchdown, UConn. That one is credited to the defense. It counts as an offensive touchdown for the halfback, but truly that one belongs to Raheem Lovelace and Matt Hoffman. 1st and 10 South Alabama after the mistake from Gio Lopez last time. He's going to start it with a handoff. Lovelace there to make a play again, a pickup of 3. Lopez is a quality quarterback, though. We can't underestimate him just due to one mistake there. Great blocking here. Lovelace can't make the tackle. Eventually comes up from behind to give a helping hand, but it's a huge pickup for South Alabama. And it looks like they're one of these teams that likes to run the hurry-up style of offense as Lopez out of the shotgun throws on an RPO, but we read it the whole way, and it's a fumble recovered by UConn. It's Cam Chadwick. What in the world is happening? 1st and 10 at the enemy 30 for the UConn Huskies. Another fumble from South Alabama. And this time it's Matt Hoffman forcing it. I'm not sure if that's really a fumble. No review coming out. It looked like his knee was clearly down. I can show you in the replay, in fact. So it was an RPO and Lopez deciding to go to the wideout here. Initial hit comes from Jordan Wright, the corner. And then you can see here Hoffman gets involved, but his knee is clearly down before that football starts coming out. And there's just no review coming. So a recovery for the Huskies again. The offense getting yet another opportunity to add points off of maybe a missed call from the refs. The interesting thing about having the game start with 2 fumbles is that while I have been changing sliders, I left the ball security slider alone. So that's not even a mistake of the new slider set as Josiah Gathings trying to follow Lewis Hansen gets a first. So now the Jags at risk of going down 2 touchdowns early. Victor Rosa going to get the carry, spins out one defender and gets through a tiny gap to get just a few yards. 2nd and 5. From the 13 on 2nd down and 5. Evers going to keep. Tries to pitch to Rosa. It's a fumble. Rosa losing track of the football. There's a flag down. Victor Rosa picks the football back up and gains a few yards, but it looks like it's going to be another holding penalty for UConn. So this one gets backed up. It's 2nd and 13. Man in motion is Josiah Gathings, and we're looking to throw. Evers on the move, underthrows his target. It was Skylar Bell. Make it 3rd and 13 now. Evers back to pass again, and we press the wrong button, and it's intercepted by South Alabama. And that's just a user error. I'm so used to the halfback being R1, man. I really thought that Rosa was R1. He was triangle, throw a pick. It's all good. We move on. Downfield, knocked away by Damon Brinson. Ball don't lie, I guess. They had a fumble that wasn't really a fumble. We give it right back. This time it's a carry for Bullock, and he gets 7, 3rd and 3. From the 26, Gio Lopez, man in motion. They love the fake jets. Down goes Lopez again. It's Zachary Spears in the backfield. 4th down, South Alabama. What a crazy start to the game this has been. It's 1st and 10 UConn. Up 7-0 with about 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Victor Rosa on the carry. We'll get about 4 yards. 2nd and 6 from the 48. Evers is back to pass. Wants to dump it off to Victor, and he gets it there. Takes a huge hit, but gets to the 34. So 1st down, UConn. Man in motion is Honig, the tight end, and he's going to get a carry here. Another flag is down. Do not tell me this is holding again. It looks like it is. UConn O-line just cannot stop holding. A good chunk of our run plays have come back so far today. Purely because of that. This is an RPO. Victor Rosa on the carry. Jukes out one defender, beats him down the field, and gets within an inch of the 1st down. 2nd and inches to the 24. That also brings Victor over 600 rushing yards on the season. Darrell Robinson is checked into the game on 2nd and inches. Evers is back to pass, and down he goes. The blocking wasn't there. At this point, I'm almost certain that the offensive line has been paid off by South Alabama, as Evers has a man left side. It's Skylar Bell on the reception. Excuse me, that's Shamar Porter on the reception. Either way, it's a 1st and 10 to the 15. On 1st down and 10, Evers will hand off. Victor Rosa has some blocking, but only 3 yards, very congested in the middle. 2nd down, Rosa in motion. Going out wide to the right, will dump it off to the senior halfback. Can he find the end zone? He does. 2nd touchdown on the day for Victor Rosa, this time through the air. And UConn gonna extend their lead to 14-0. The defense really playing strong today against South Alabama. So can the Jags offense get anything going today? So far, 2 fumbles, a 3 and out, and this one gonna be a handoff to Bullock, who gets 5. Just been a rough day for the South Alabama offense, which is a good offense, as I'll mention again. Gio Lopez handoff Bullock. Zachary Spears is there. Actually, I think that was Quincy Bryan, who was on the ground, who gets the tackle. That brings us to a 3rd down and 5. Over the middle is Lopez, finding his man, outrunning 2 linebackers, and to the 47, a 1st and 10 for the Jags. From the 47, Lopez will hand off Bullock again. Good blocking as one defender gets there, and then Julian Simon cleans it up. 3rd and 7 from the 50 for the Jags. So they'll look to get another conversion here. All kinds of time to throw for Gio Lopez, moving in the pocket, and he'll get the first on his feet to the 42. Something about that looked so insane. Let's take another look. Lopez, what in the world is that? That is the fastest juke move you're ever going to see. From the 42, it's 1st down and 10. South Alabama looking their best so far on this drive, and it's going to be a fake jet and then a handoff to the backup halfback, a pickup of 1. So a 2nd down and 9, 5.5 minutes left to play in the half, as it's a jet sweep for real this time, making some men miss and going down to Quincy Bryan. 3rd down and 5 to be exact. From the 37. Can the UConn defense get another stop? Lopez back to pass. Running out of time over the middle. It's Zachary Spears. We're going to do you better than a stop. We're going to give you the 3rd turnover on the day for South Alabama. Gio Lopez just not seeing Zachary Spears over the middle, and he intercepts it. The senior now taking the lead. 4 interceptions on the team this season. This should be his 4th. 1st and 10 from the 34. UConn being gifted a victory today against South Alabama, at least to this point. 3 turnovers already. Now it's 3rd and 6. Evers back to pass. Gonna dump this off to Victor Rosa on the right side, and he's good for a 1st down to the 49. 1st and 10, 3 minutes left to play in the half. Evers back to pass, stepping up in the pocket, and then gonna slide down after a pickup of 9. Big 3rd down here. Could be the difference between additional points this drive and a punt. Victor Rosa on the carry. He's going to get the first easily to the 37. 2-minute warning is come and gone. 2 minutes between us and halftime. As Evers trying to drive the team down the field for additional points. Victor Rosa open right side, and he'll get the 1st down and head out of bounds at the 25. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Rosa in the backfield, and it is a carry for him, following a blocker and getting a pickup of 4. Now an empty backfield for Nick Evers. Blitz coming from South Alabama. Throw over the middle is to Porter, but it's not enough for a 1st. South Alabama calls a timeout. Will settle for a Zach Costanzo field goal attempt. Kick is up, and kick is good from Costanzo. 17-0 for the UConn Huskies. South Alabama could turn this game around right here. If they score on this drive, they also start with the football in the second half. It could be 17-14 if they can just get it together. Lopez looking downfield, knocked away. That's Jordan Wright in coverage. And that'll make it a 3rd down and 10. Now, if they don't convert here, they're at risk of giving us enough time for additional points. And it's going to be a jet touch pass, probably for that reason. And we'll burn a timeout. I mean, 4th and 7, and we've got over a minute left still. 1st and 10, UConn, an opportunity for even more points now as we're back to pass. And we'll lob one deep for Shamar Porter. There is a flag down on the play. I'm guessing it's going to be holding again. It is indeed. Jacob Rizzi with what I think is his 3rd holding penalty on the day. 1st and 20 after that. So we try to dump this off underneath to Shamar Porter, and it's good for maybe a yard. 2nd and 19 from the 33. Evers is back to pass, and running out of time, down he goes. South Alabama will call a timeout. With this drive falling apart completely, I think our best bet is to run the ball here, have them burn their last timeout, or maybe Victor Rosa makes a play. He does juke out one defender, gets all the way to the 40. Nearly broke away, but it is still going to be 4th down. 35 seconds and no timeouts for South Alabama. Really, I would argue, need a score here as that is incomplete. And that leaves 32 seconds on the clock. They're back to pass again, down the field, finding a man, and they're going to get the score I was talking about, as this one going to go for 6. Touchdown, South Alabama. Beat down the field. I believe that was Jordan Wright. He typically is the man on the left side of the field. Could have been Brinson. We'll take a look at it in just a second. But they got beat. It was close, but then the diving play really let Keyshawn Woodyard get downfield for a touchdown. It's going to be 17-7 after the PAT. It was indeed Jordan Wright. He wears number 0. Honestly, his coverage was pretty good. I think the mistake here, with so little time and no timeouts, is attempting to swat the football. He should be going for a tackle here. Oh my God, there is no way UConn with a kickoff return for a touchdown immediately following the South Alabama touchdown. Brian Domino, a sophomore wide receiver you probably haven't heard the name of to this point. He's one of our 2 kick returners, and he takes this one back for 6. So with basically no time on the clock, the blocking just lines up perfectly, and Domino finds a lane and has enough speed to break away. Touchdown UConn. So we head to halftime after the kickoff return touchdown. It's 24-7. South Alabama does start with the football in the second half, but that kickoff return touchdown basically just made their touchdown null and void. So I think we sort of get the point with this game, and we'll pay attention to the rest of it. We'll jump to possession by possession and jump into the game if we feel we need to. 88-yard touchdown from Nick Evers to Skylar Bell is going to make it 31-7 here at the kind of halfway point of the third quarter. This just feels like a UConn victory. But a rushing touchdown for Micah Woods. Finally, one of those jet touch passes works for South Alabama. It's going to make it 31-15 as they go for the 2-point conversion. We are now in the fourth quarter. South Alabama still struggling to move the football. Now it's 31-23. Where did this come from? South Alabama making their way back into this football game. Let's see if the UConn offense can do it without my help. Can they secure a first down? A first down will help them chew a ton of this clock away. Another penalty from the offensive line. This time it's actually a tight end, Alex Honig, but I assure you it's probably a holding. 5-yard reception to Josiah Gathings. 4-yard reception to Victor Rosa, and we have to punt it away. South Alabama only down by 8 here. So let's jump in. Has the Super Sim thrown this game away for the UConn Huskies? 3:30 left to play in the game. Lopez back to pass. Down he goes. It's Julian Simon. 2nd and 17 coming up. Obviously, the goal is really just to keep them out of the end zone. 2nd and 17 from the 41. Lopez running out of time again. Guess who? It's Julian Simon with 2 sacks in a row. 3rd and 25. So a huge third down here for South Alabama. Do you think they go for it on 4th? If they can't convert here, well, I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't matter. Jordan Wright on the left side getting burned again by Woodyard, and it's a repeat of the first half. Touchdown, South Alabama. This is zone coverage, Jordan. Just back up. That's all you have to do. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. South Alabama, a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up. Jordan Wright really letting us down so far today. 2-point conversion coming up. UConn, to maintain the lead, needs a stop here. They're not going to get it. 2-point is good. It's 31-31. It felt like the game was over. I thought a Super Sim was safe. And now here we are with 2:17 left. tied at 31 apiece. Victor Rosa going to get the carry, and he has so much running room here to the left side. Jukes back inside and finally goes down at the 48. It's going to be a devastating loss to no longer have Victor on this football team. An absolute menace on the field. We'll go back to him here on a 1st and 10, finding some running room. Pickup of 4. So now we're past the 2-minute warning. 2nd down and 6. It's going to be a handoff. Victor Rosa again. He gets 2 yards, 3rd and 4. From the 45, 3rd down and 4. Evers back to pass. Goes over the middle. Wants Skylar Bell. Has him. Left completely wide open in the middle of the field. And it's a 1st and 10 for UConn. South Alabama burning a timeout now. It's about chewing clock for UConn, attempting a field goal or hopefully getting a touchdown. This offensive line cannot stop holding. This is absurd. 1st and 19 after the holding call from the 31. So we'll hand off Victor. Down he goes. Loss of 3. This is not good. 2nd and 22 from the 33. Evers back to pass. Wants Lewis Hanson, who makes the catch and then gets to the 25, setting up a 3rd and 13. But he went out of bounds. And that means that the clock isn't moving. So we're leaving some time on the clock for South Alabama. Ideally, we'd get a 1st down here so that we could truly put the game away. But instead, we're going to dump it off to Skylar Bell. He's going to be short of the 1st, but he did line up a field goal for Zach Costanzo. And the kick is up. It's wide to the left. I missed the field goal here in the 4th quarter with 1:20 left. South Alabama only needs 3 to take the victory from the Huskies. I cannot believe how dirty the Super Sim has done me today. 2nd and inches. They're hurrying it up. From the 30, 1 minute left to play. They just need field goal range. I'm not sure how good their kicker is, but I imagine he's decent. They go over the middle, finding their man. Grubbs brings him down. They do have no timeouts. 1st and 10 from the 38. Lopez back to pass, has all kinds of time. Has a man open over the middle, but he misses the throw. 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 38. 52 seconds left to play. Lopez back to pass, left side, dropped. Bad time for a drop, and now it's 3rd and 10. Would be a huge stand here defensively from the UConn Huskies after the failure of the offense. 3rd and 10. Back to pass. Going down is Gio Lopez. It's Curvin's shoot. He's good for 1 TFL a game, I'm telling you. And now South Alabama has to punt the football away and give UConn another chance to take a victory. They've tried very, very hard to lose this football game. They really have, as Harrison back to return. Goes down at the 34. That's where UConn will start. 1st and 10 from the 31 as Evers is back to pass. Goes to the right side. It's knocked away. Wait, oh my God, Shamar Porter caught that. Hold on a minute. Shamar Porter on the ground after the deflection catches the football. That is insane. Shamar Porter just made the catch of the series. I think that might stand for a long time. That is absurd. 30 seconds left to play. Evers, hurry to the line. We got to have some sense of urgency here, pal. As we're looking to throw, just trying to dump it off to Victor Rosa. It's honestly a good thing that he dropped it. 21 seconds left to play. Evers back to pass again. And gonna hit his man underneath. It's Josiah Gathings. We use one of those 2 timeouts. 3rd and 5. Evers back to pass again. Wants a man over the middle, but takes a hit as he throws. It's 4th and 5. And we have to play for overtime here. UConn finds themselves in yet another overtime. They have thrown this football game away. It was 24-7 at the half, and now 31-31 as we head into OT. So we have won the toss. We are going to elect to defend first. Unlike pro football and college football, the advantage goes to the team that defends first, because then you know exactly what you need when you're on offense. As throwing towards the end zone, swatted away, Damon Brinson. We'd accept a field goal here, honestly. Like if South Alabama wants to kick a 3, we can get the touchdown. RPO set up, really good blocking. No 1st down though, 3rd and 2. Big time 3rd down here. From the 17, 3rd down and 2, South Alabama. Lopez, man in motion. It's the jet sweep, and Quincy Bryan was there, but just a second late as it's a 1st and 10 for the Jags. Lopez, man in motion again. Do you think it's another jet? No, it's a quarterback keeper. Lovelace read it, though. A loss of a yard. The true freshman linebacker having himself a day. You got to imagine that South Alabama is going to be going to the air here. Man in motion is the halfback. And they will go to the air, and it's going to be just short of the touchdown. Cam Chadwick's coverage was bad, but his tackle saved 6. And now it's going to be near impossible to keep them out of the end zone, but we'll try our best. As it's going to be a keeper for the quarterback, Raheem Lovelace, you absolute monster. Another TFL. Look at how quickly this guy was in the backfield, completely untouched. Skips the halfback entirely, even though it's play action. Doesn't care, unfazed. He had his eyes on the football the whole time, and he makes a play. I tell you what, Raheem Lovelace is going to be a special player. As you know, he has elite development. Lopez, though, back to pass here. Looking, Liam Fuller was there. Could have been intercepted. Another opportunity for a huge stop from the UConn defense. It's to the end zone, touchdown South Alabama. I think that was Cam Chadwick in coverage, giving that one up. And so South Alabama gets the tutty to take the lead. And now UConn knows that they need a touchdown to tie. They are just going for the 1 point extra point. So if we get in the end zone, we could go for 2 to try to get the win. So now it's the offense's turn. 1st and 10 from the 25. Victor Rosa on the carry. Blocking is terrible. A loss of 2. It gets 2nd and 12. Evers back to pass. Just going to try to check it down to Victor. He can't hold on. 3rd and 12. It's obviously 4 down territory. Do not have to get all of this here. We'll go over the middle, though, and we are going to get all of it here. Porter takes a huge hit, but he holds on. 1st down UConn. Man, that was a killing that Shamar Porter just took. But now it's 1st and 10 at the 13. Evers is back to pass. Has a check down for Victor Rosa. Can he make this man miss? No. Goes down after a pickup of 6. So now it's another 3rd down situation from the 4. Evers back to pass. Has Victor Rosa open. Right side. He never saw the football. It falls incomplete, and now the game comes down to this. Victor Rosa never saw the football. 4th and 4 from the 7. The game comes down to this. As we go in zone. Lewis Hansen, touchdown UConn. Evers rifling that one in there. Hansen makes the grab, and it's a touchdown for the Huskies. Now, do we go for the 2 point? Or do we go for the 1? What do we have to lose? UConn lined up to go for this. It is a 2 point conversion to take the victory. Evers back to pass. Running out of time. Just has to launch one up. Does so, and it falls incomplete. The Huskies are going to lose to South Alabama. An upset on the day for the UConn Huskies. Again, the Super Sim did me dirty. Thought it was a lot more fun there to go for the 2 point conversion rather than the 1. We've had such a successful season. A lot of it feels a little bit fraudulent. I wanted to go for the 2, but mostly I just can't believe that the Super Sim for the UConn Huskies blew the game this badly. Like, that is ridiculous. I have heard online that the Super Sim is known to do this, but man, we had such a big lead. It was 24-7. It was 31-7 even at one point, and then we end up losing the football game. But we're already bowl eligible. Some of you might be a little bit upset because that does hurt our chances at entering the college football playoff, which we probably weren't going to get into anyway, even if we did finish 10-2. But also keep in mind, we are a 79 overall team that has upset Ohio State in year 2 of the Dynasty. We're not supposed to be this good. Games against South Alabama are going to be losses on occasion with a team like UConn. It's an unfortunate loss for sure, but we upset Ohio State earlier. I think it's only fair that a team upsets us this season as well. Remind me to never use the Super Sim, though. My goodness. Terry Overhauser has committed to the Huskies. Dan Boyd has committed, and he was the one I was worried about losing to Rutgers, so that is very good. Julian Simon earns the FBS Independence Defensive Player of the Week, and he earns the National Defensive Player of the Week. He did play super well in that game against South Alabama. Victor Rosa earns FBS Independence Offensive Player of the Week, but no National Player of the Week. Wow, Duke is 2-6 this season. So with those guys committed, we've got a wide receiver deep threat. By the way, if you didn't know his attributes, here they are. 94 speed, he's very fast. With those guys committed, though, we have a lot more points to work with once again, 175 to be precise. And a guy I really want to make sure we get is David Bryan, but it sort of seems like we're going to lose him to the Ragin' Cajuns. He's visiting week 11 with them. We're currently in week 11. So Louisiana saw that we were coming after him and decided to dump a bunch of influence his way. We're going to put as many points as possible as we can into David O'Brien, and we're going to schedule a visit on the bye week in week 12. So if he doesn't commit to Louisiana this week, we should be gaining a ton of influence and could potentially take the lead. But I've also realized that we are not going after near enough guards. Guards is a big need for us this season, and we haven't gotten any right guards or any left guards to sign so far. So we need to get at least one, I would say. So we're going to go after Taulia Sue and Levi Bibbs. And we can afford to send the house on both of them, even after offering the scholarship. So that is precisely what we're going to do. We need to get a guard in here. And it looks like we might lose O'Brien, although it's hard to say. Before we get started in the Duke Blue Devils game, I am going to turn down the holding slider. It's up to 60 in Mat 10's slider set. I felt like it happened a bit too much. I'm all for penalties happening, but they were often in that game for sure. Let's go down to 55 for that. So it's time for UConn to see if they can get their revenge against the Duke Blue Devils, who beat them last season. If you guys remember that game, we had the lead pretty significantly going into halftime, only for somebody to throw the game away. Duke taking that victory, and also UConn looking to bounce back from the devastating loss to the South Alabama Jags. Duke 2-6 on the season, but still a tough out. Duke starts with the football, so let's take a look at their offense. Quarterback is junior Malik Murphy, up to an 86 overall. Very good QB. Halfback is Travis Bates, a 77. Wide receiver 1 is Spencer Jones, and then they have Jake Taylor and Derek Parker Bragg. So really good quarterback, weak weapons. And then the tight end 1 is Jeremiah Hasley. By the way, if you guys are a fan of how frequently penalties were happening in that last game, just let me know and I will up that slider back to 60. As this one is completed on an RPO left side, a pickup of 6 to start the day for Duke. And that'll bring us to a 3rd down and 4 from the 31. As throwing is Murphy, finding his man, and it's a 1st down for the Blue Devils. Looks like this Duke offense might run a lot of RPO. Honestly, it looks quite similar to the South Alabama offense thus far. As Murphy throws, intercepted. It's Damon Brinson jumping the route, and I think this one's going to go back for 6. Indeed, it is. Damon Brinson trots into the end zone, getting a 47-yard pick 6 for the UConn Huskies to start the scoring on the day. Our defense has caused a lot of turnovers in recent weeks, and this time it's Damon Brinson getting in on the action. 1st and 10, Duke once again, now down by 7 though, as the first touchdown pass of the day from Malik Murphy goes to a UConn defender. Handoff. This isn't Bates in the backfield, actually. He wears number 19. This is number 17. That's Karan Boyd from the 34. 3rd down, 1 yard to go. They will go to the ground. It's Bates, and he outruns Zachary Spears. One man to beat. He can't do it, and he coughs up the football, and Zachary Spears has it. What is with these turnovers? We have not increased the fumble slider. It has been the same the whole time, and it doesn't matter. We're forcing fumble after fumble after fumble, and now the Huskies have the football again. This looked like another one that he was probably down for, but it sort of seems like the CPU refuses to challenge things. Again, this one not reviewed, so Lee Millette III forces the fumble. 1st and 10 UConn, the first time we're getting to see the offense, and it's already 7-0. Skylar Bell getting the jet touch pass and going to be just short of the 1st down yardage. By the way, it is the last home game on the season, so it is a senior day, as Victor Rosa going to get the carry here. Jukes back to the inside, a flag is down, and you already know what it is. It's a holding on Jacob Rizzi. 2nd and 10 after the loss on the penalty. Evers back to pass as Skylar Bell underneath goes his way. That's a pickup of 3. If you don't know, by the way, Skylar Bell, Josiah Gathings, and Dejon Harrison, all seniors. That is why I have Harrison playing in place of Shamar Porter today to give him the opportunity to play at home one more time. 3rd and 7. Evers back to pass, looking to convert here. Has a man over the middle, gets it off in time. It's Josiah Gathings on the reception. 1st and 10 to the 39. Might also see some Kylish Hicks. He is not a senior, he is a junior. but he will still receive some playing time today as Evers gonna go down. No time to throw 2nd and 18. Now it's a 3rd and 14 for UConn. Evers back to pass again. Gonna lob one up downfield. Wants the senior Harrison. Can't make the grab. It was a decent throw from Evers, but off the hands of the senior Dejon Harrison will punt it away. Still 7-0 as the Duke offense takes back over. As Murphy out of the shotgun, man in motion is the tight end, and it's a handoff. And down goes the halfback, Karan Boyd, a loss of 2. So it's 3rd and 8 from the 22 as Murphy is back to pass and looking to throw, and throwing this one away sets up a 4th down. UConn will get the ball right back. With it being a senior day, we got to keep in mind this is Victor Rosa's last home game as a UConn Husky, as Evers, while taking a hit, gets this one off to Josiah Gathings. 2nd and 1 from the 41. I'm sure Victor, wanting to put on a good show for the home crowd, jumps over a falling defender and gets a first to about midfield. Both of our top 2 tight ends, seniors, exiting after this season. Lewis Hansen, Alex Honig. A lot of seniors on the field right now. In fact, I think everyone on the offense other than Nick Evers, at least in terms of the weapons, was a senior. 2nd and 3 from the 44 as we start the second quarter. It's going to be a handoff to Victor Rosa, but the left guard, I believe that's Wes Ho, misses his block. That one had some potential to be an explosive play, but just needed a better block from the left guard. 3rd and 2 from the 42. Victor Rosa on the carry. He's going to get the first down to the 38. Another senior that you won't see on the field today is Cam Edwards. He's been redshirted this season. Should be a big part of the offense next season, though, as Gathings has a huge lane here, jukes out one, and gets past the 20, inside the 20 to the 17. Josiah Gathings on the jet touch pass, 1st down Huskies. On 1st and 10, Evers, play action, back to pass, gonna dump this off to the backup tight end. No, excuse me, that's Lewis Hansen. Thought that was Honig underneath. That sets up a 2nd and 5 from the 13. So we've got Victor Rosa going out wide to the right. Darrell Robinson getting the carry and short of a first. 3rd and 2 from the 9. Handoff, Victor Rosa. Close to the first. They give it to him. He's to the 7. Man in motion again is Rosa. Evers gonna keep. Flag down, fumble, and recovered by Darrell Robinson. As it's Jacob Rizzi again on the holding call. The man is a holding machine. Maybe that's why he had to leave Florida State. Maybe they refused to give him a start because he just held so often. 1st and goal from the 17. Victor Rosa on the carry. Not much room, a pickup of 3. 3rd and goal from the 13. I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at Skylar Bell on this one potentially. He's not open, so we'll get it to Lewis Hansen. He breaks out of a tackle, and that's going to be a face mask call on the Duke defender, who's celebrating because he didn't see the flag. And it's going to be an automatic first for the UConn Huskies. Give me the 1st and goal on the 1. The guy was celebrating, but he made a huge mistake grabbing the face mask of Lewis Hansen, and now from the 1, we'll get a few opportunities. Will we even need him? Looks like we'll need at least one more, loss of 1 for Victor. Now 2nd and goal from the 2. Toss outside, Victor Rosa using his speed, juking into the end zone. Touchdown UConn. Victor Rosa, the senior halfback, playing in front of his home crowd for the last time in his collegiate career, hoping to maybe get drafted into the NFL. The guy is a stud. This game feels awfully similar so far to the South Alabama game, and that's why it makes me nervous. Even though we're up 14-0, we were up 14-0 at some point in that game too, and we threw it all away, as this is going to be a pickup of 9. 2nd and 1 from the 33 for the Blue Devils. Murphy calls an audible, hands off Bates, breaks out of a tackle, but Spears brings him down shortly after. 1st and 10, though, from the 36, under 4 minutes left to play in the half. Difference this time, though, I do believe UConn starts with the football in the second half. That's a good pickup for Duke. Past midfield is Vance Bolliard, and it's a 1st and 10 to the 45. The Duke offense looking the best it's looked so far today. Murphy brings the tight end over to the right, and it's a handoff to Bates. Really excellent blocking. Again, the running game working very, very well for Duke so far. 2nd and 9 from the 32, under 3 minutes left to play in the half now, as Murphy back to pass, looking for his man, and it's nearly intercepted by Zachary Spears. That makes it a 3rd down and 9 from the UConn 32. As Lovelace is back in coverage. Murphy stepping up. Lovelace is there. Can't tackle him as he slides down, and it's 4th and 5. We'll go ahead and burn a timeout here. So Duke attempting a field goal. This is not an easy one. A 45-yarder kick is up, and it is just inside the left upright. And good. 14-3 now the score. But a lot of time for UConn to potentially drive down the field and get 7 more. You can also see this dynamic attendance. A lot of people here to watch the final game of the regular season for the UConn Huskies at home. I did learn that apparently the football stadium for UConn is about a 45-minute drive away from campus, which is absolutely brutal. Kind of makes sense why they maybe don't get a lot of attendance, as that's a pickup of 2 for Skylar Bell. Like, if I was a UConn student, I don't know if I'm driving 45 minutes to take a look at a bad team, but currently UConn actually pretty good, and it's all thanks to this man. It's Victor Rosa on his way to another rushing touchdown, jogging into the end zone and taking a hit because of it, but then making some snow angels on the grass. Touchdown, Victor Rosa. The UConn Huskies senior superstar looking dominant once again, as he always does, as he did as a junior, as he has all year as a senior. We're going to miss this kid. It's kind of a double-edged sword, though. We left 2 minutes on the clock for the Duke Blue Devils, 1:48 to be precise. Murphy will look to throw, starting to run out of time now. He throws it away just before taking a hit by Julian Simon. Now it's 2nd and 10 from the 18, still 1:44. Murphy back to pass again, this time with more time, finding his wide out. It's a 1st down. That's Jordan Wright in coverage. 1st and 10 at the 33. They do have all 3 of their timeouts as well. 1:33 left to play. As this one should have been another pick 6 this time, Chris Grubbs, but it's dropped. Malik Murphy panicking, nearly throwing his 2nd pick 6 on the day as he's back to pass again. That one had potential to be intercepted by Chadwick, but it's caught instead. Chadwick ultimately making the hit. 2nd and 10 from the 46. 1:20 left to play. As Spears is there, but completed to the tight end, a pickup of 6. And now it's 3rd and 4 from the 49. They're back to pass again. Downfield, dropped by the wide receiver. That was a perfect throw from Malik Murphy. Now it's 4th down with a minute left. And that was a very bad punt. We start with the football at the 32. Definitely an opportunity for additional points. No, it might be stupid to go to the ground here, but the last time, we obviously got a huge rushing touchdown from Victor Rosa. Breaks a tackle, and only a pickup of a few. 45 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 7 from the 36. We're back to pass. We go over the middle in the direction of Josiah Gathings, who holds on and gets past midfield to the 45. Gathings and Bell have come on strong here in the 2nd half of the season. 30 seconds left. Evers to throw again. Goes over the middle. There's a flag down. I think it's probably a holding call, and if I had to guess, it's on Jacob Rizzi. This time, it's on the right guard, Wes Ho. 24 seconds left. 2nd and 20. Evers back to pass, gonna try to dump it off, but the right guard Wes Ho letting a man in. 3rd and 20, and at this point we probably should just go to the ground to burn up a Duke timeout. They have 20 seconds left. Victor Rosa on the carry, gets a few yards. It's 4th and 15. Duke not calling a timeout actually, so we'll head to halftime. 21-3 for UConn over the Blue Devils at halftime, but if you recall, like I mentioned, UConn had a lead over Duke after the 1st half last season and then threw it all away in the 2nd half. So we can't let our foot off the gas. UConn starts with the football in the 2nd half, so a chance to extend the lead even further. As we'll begin the 3rd quarter with an outside run for Victor Rosa. Can't find the edge, but does get 3 yards. So quickly to 3rd down. Feels like those 2 plays ended in the blink of an eye. Evers to throw. Wide receiver screen set up for Gathings, but a couple Duke defenders there, and it's a 3 and out for the Huskies. 1st and 10 from the 36. Duke kind of blessed with an opportunity here by their defense. A pickup of 5 for Bates on his first carry of the 2nd half. From the 42, 3rd down, 4 to go. It's a fake to Bates, and then over the middle for the tight end. It's complete. Lee Millette, the 3rd in coverage, couldn't make the play. We couldn't get the sack either. And now it's 1st and 10 at the 36 after the big play for the Blue Devils. Chance to cut the lead down to 2 possessions with a touchdown on this drive. Man in motion, 2 tight ends lined up in the backfield, and it's a screenplay set up to one of them, and it works out pretty well. A pickup of about 5 or 6 as Curvins Chute will exit with an injury. Curvins doesn't actually play a ton, but when he does, he makes an impact. This is going to be a handoff. Bates, really good blocking, but maybe too good as there is a flag down. And that did actually look like a very obvious hold, I think against Raheem Lovelace. So they'll back this up. That sets up a pretty critical 3rd and 9. I think if you're Duke, you absolutely kind of need a touchdown on this drive as Lovelace back in coverage, but finding the tight end and then over pursuing completely is Chris Grubbs. What in the world was that? As it's a 1st and goal to the 8 for Duke. Not sure what Chris Grubbs was doing, but here we are. 1st and goal from the 8. Man in motion is the tight end going to the left again. Maybe a run play. No, it's play action, a fumble, and it's recovered by the freshman linebacker, Raheem Lovelace, who was tripped up by the quarterback and can't return it very far. But another turnover for the UConn Huskies. Raheem Lovelace talking some smack, and the true freshman continuing to make an impact. But it was Price Yates, the senior edge rusher, forcing the fumble. And it really almost looks like Malik Murphy just kind of dropped it. Like I mentioned, the ball security slider untouched. Just a lot of fumbles forced recently. Maybe it's because players are tired. Who knows? 1st and 10 from the 20. Victor Rosa on the carry, following his block and getting a few extra yards because of it. Pickup of 9. What I'm reading here is that there is a huge blitz coming from the Duke Blue Devils. Man in motion is Victor Rosa. They completely baited me. I fell for it, and it's a loss of 2 because of it. Well played by the Blue Devils. I gotta say, most of the time, blitzes are super easy to read in this game. I'm actually pretty impressed that that one was not. Everyone came down, looked like an obvious blitz, but not this time. 3rd and 3 from the 27. We're gonna hand off Victor Rosa, and he gets the 1st down to the 33. 2nd down and 6. Empty backfield for Nick Evers. Blitz on its way. He gets it off quickly. It's Lewis Hanson. Lots of running room, but not a lot of speed from the big man. He does get to the 48, though. 1st and 10, UConn. Under center is Evers, and he will go back to pass here. Has the tight end again. It's Hanson down the field. There's a flag down, and it's again going to be a holding call. It's Jacob Rizzi for the 3rd time today with a holding penalty. 1st and 20 from the 42. Darrell Robinson, who we haven't seen a ton of, another flag down. If that's on Jacob Rizzi again, I'm going to bench him. It is. Jacob Rizzi with a 2nd hold in a row, and now it's 1st and 30. So we'll bring in a sophomore guard in Ty Polk to take over at left tackle. I'm not having any more of those holding calls. Let's find out if it's a Jacob Rizzi problem or if it's a left tackle problem. 1st and 30 from the 32. Evers back to pass, setting up a screen for Victor Rosa. Just has to follow his blockers. He does so very well. He gets 11 yards. From the 43, 3rd down, 19 to go. Evers stepping up, gonna run, and just gonna slide down. No need to risk a huge hit there. 4th and 9, we'll punt it away. Duke starting from the 16. 1st and 10. About 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. And it's a handoff. I just noticed Curvins Chute, by the way, back in the game. As that's Boyd on the carry, gets 9. 2nd and 1 from the 26. Murphy brings a man over, and it is the jet touch pass. Nowhere really to go, though. Julian Simon brings him down, 1st down. As Murphy will hand off again. They are running the ball a lot for a team down by 3 possessions. Definitely a little surprising to see, but it isn't the 4th quarter yet, so maybe that's when they'll go to the air a bit more. Malik Murphy this time back to pass, finding the tight end who breaks a tackle. Zachary Spears has to bring him down. That should bring us to the end of the 3rd. Now it's 2nd down and 6 from the 45. Murphy once again back to pass. Man over the middle. Laid out by Raheem Lovelace, but still good for a 1st. Now it's 2nd and 10. Murphy's back to pass again. Has time, goes over the middle, finding his man. Bad coverage from Damon Brinson. It's another 1st down for Duke. Nearing 7 minutes left to play. 2nd and 6 from the 28. It is a handoff. Boyd has got the carry. Chadwick brings him down, but it's a 1st down for Duke again. Where has this offense been the entire game? They're moving very easily right now, as it's another handoff. This time it goes to the starting halfback, Bates, and he gets to the 12. It's 2nd and 1. 6 minutes left to play as Malik Murphy brings his tight end over to the right side, and it is not a running play. Quarterback back to pass. Down he goes. It's Zachary Spears with the sack. The senior safety turned linebacker getting involved in the senior day. That makes it a 3rd down and long situation from the 21, as it's going to be. Play action, thrown right side, broken tackles. It's a first, but a flag is down. I think it's holding. It's an illegal block in the back on the Duke Blue Devils. It's going to be 3rd and 20. 3rd down, 20 to go from the 31, as they're going to hand it off to Bates. He beats Lovelace, and he gets a little bit closer to field goal range. Oh, I see. So that was their plan, just to make it a more manageable 4th down. It's still 4th and 12. This is not the easiest conversion in the world, as Murphy throws towards the end zone, knocked down by Chris Grubbs, and it's a turnover on downs. UConn looking like they're gonna get a victory today. Up 3 possessions, still under 5 minutes left to play. It's a carry for Victor Rosa, the senior halfback, who has had one hell of a day, a pickup of 6. Surely Victor Rosa gets the first here. 3rd and inches. He's going to do just that. 1st and 10 to the 37. Duke actually not using their timeouts. They've given up on this game, and of course, we've now shut down Victor Rosa, so it's Darrell Robinson in the backfield. The sophomore on the carry, just short of the 1st down yardage. Game over. UConn beating the Duke Blue Devils pretty convincingly this time. 21-3, not a single touchdown scored for Duke. Victor Rosa, in his final home game as a UConn Husky, had an absolutely incredible day, and I'm sure this home crowd is gonna miss him. UConn improves to 7-3 on the season, having a nice bounce back game after the kind of devastating loss against South Alabama. So you guys let me know what you think. Is holding still happening a little bit too much, even with the slider down to 55? I think it probably is. It's the only penalty happening, so it's just kind of glaringly obvious when it does. 15 for 20 for Evers, 130 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. I mean, didn't have to do anything, really. It was the Victor Rosa show. 20 attempts, 149 yards, 7.4 per carry, 2 touchdowns. And he also had a long of 76 on the day. Receiving, it's Josiah Gathings, 5 for 65. Skylar Bell, 3 for 14. Hanson, 3 for 31. Victor, 3 for 13. And Alex Honig, 1 for 7. I'd like to point out, everyone that caught a ball today was a senior. Blocking, the only sack given up was given up by Jacob Rizzi, who was benched at the end of this game after all of those holding penalties. Defensively, it's Chadwick with 6 solo tackles. Total tackles is Zachary Spears with 13. TFLs, Spears and Yates each with 2, and sacks, Spears and Yates each with 1. Interceptions, Jordan Wright got one at the very end of regulation, just a very garbage time interception. And of course, Damon Brinson with the pick 6 to start off the day. So we advance the week, going into a bye week, and then we've got a couple road games to end the season. Kevin Simonson, the free safety, has committed to UConn. We are second for David O'Brien. I think Louisiana has just completely taken over, and they're going to be almost impossible to beat at this point. We are now first on Levi Bibbs's board, but Oregon State has made an offer as well. They might be a tough team to beat in the recruitment, and we have taken first on Sue's board as well. We've also taken first on Cleveland's board. We are currently the only team to offer a scholarship. We of course got Simonson to commit. We'll add him to the bottom of the list as another commitment. We are an inch away from getting Alani Sandridge to commit, and it does just look like we are going to lose David O'Brien. We're pretty far away from Louisiana. We do have him visiting this week though, so I'm gonna leave him on the board. The 65 plus the bonuses from the visit, we could theoretically steal him from Louisiana. It's a long shot, but it's a shot I'm kind of willing to take with how much of a need guard is. I'd hate to remove him now. We're gonna add a right outside linebacker in Nick Alonzo to the board and send him the house to try to just get to first immediately ahead of Texas and Alabama. So with that, let's go ahead and advance through this bye week and see if we get any more commits Alani Sandridge does finally commit. He's been really close for a while, but that's the only one. We do lose O'Brien. Kind of sucks. A little bit of a waste of those points for sure. I did ultimately think it was worth the risk with the upcoming visit. I thought maybe we'd get enough influence to pass up the Raging Cajuns, but they just decided they wanted him, and there's really nothing I can do. But in the next episode, I'm going to have to find a new guard probably to add to this big board. Here is the CFP top 25. Boston College is number 1 at 9-1 on the season. UCF drops to 5th despite not losing, which is interesting. I guess because Alabama at 8-2 got a big win over Georgia. And here is the rest of that CFP top 25, as Troy has officially made it to the top 25. Shout out Cameron. 9-1 on the season. Let's see how much the media poll differs. Not a ton. Boston College still the number 1 team in the country. That is insane. And we're about to join the ACC to have to play against them a bunch. UCF 10-1. We play them to end the year. They are the 5th ranked team in the country right now. Louisiana, the team that just stole that left guard from us, is 16th in the country. Troy is 19th in the media poll at 9-1. Liberty 20th. A lot of kind of smaller schools having some huge seasons. This kind of makes me think that, you know, like Tulane and Liberty are definitely 2 teams that would probably be moving to bigger conferences come next season. Maybe even Louisiana, maybe Troy, although I hesitate with the teams under 80 overall. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. If you find yourself coming back on the regular and you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that sub button for me. It does help me out a lot. And in the next episode, we'll finish out the regular season against an 8-3 UTSA team, and then the number 5 ranked team in the country in UCF.